Hi, I'm Meg Stuart, and I'm in Rio.
Okay, well, thank you, Meg, for actually accepting this interview in between two shows. And can you tell us a little bit more about, the piece, of course, that I saw 2 days ago, that was presented 2 days ago, Violet. And of course, after that, we can talk about the fall lines. And you can tell us a little bit about it, because I think that there is a lot that I thought about it. But it's a great opportunity to have you to comment.
Violet, yeah, it's a very intense piece, as you experienced. I think. It's 5 dancers. I wanted to make a piece that was abstract, but not a kind of cool abstraction, but something that was quite charged. And 5 individual journeys happening simultaneously. Yeah. And we looked at movement patterns, energetic patterns in nature. I was quite inspired by this video piece from Francis Elise when he walks into a tornado, and so that was one inspiration.
Yes, and I saw a lot of, I told you 2 nights ago that I felt it was kind of purist in a way that, if I can call it like that, it's kind of going to some kinetic source or the movement investigation instead of perhaps, even if I can see that it's a conceptual approximation, but it's mainly kinetic, even in the sound. And I think I saw also the image of the waves as sound as something that perhaps is there, getting in some kind of vortex that the dancers were working with.
Yeah, they work with energy, not expending it, but trying to contain it, to shape it. They surrender to a movement pattern or a charge, intensity, and they're looking for energetic solutions. And with Brendan's drumming, they're really pushed to their limit, but it's about something renewable, something finding new sources and solutions. It's not just about blowing it out. We did think about dance as a concert, and so there is that kind of what creates change, what creates things to move, and for something to really shift.
Yeah, because at the same time, witnessing was quite an intense experience. It was not only, okay, they're there and we are here. There was, even if it had a formal deployment in a way, it felt almost like a sculpture. It was very and kinetic and immersive in a way. And what can you say when you talk about energy? It's a very interesting word for me. When it's this energetic transformation for us that we are perceiving is a certain kind of development, certain kind of transformations.
I see them as alchemists, and so they're shaping forces that are greater than they are, and they're tracing the imperceptible, and they're transforming the impulses, energetic impulses that they receive into new forms.
Yeah. And also, something that I felt this piece was special in relationship with what I seen from the work is that goes beyond the personal. And you also talk about these transcendental forces. In a way, it felt almost live-like. It was not even about life; it was live, the living. So, what can you say, and why now?
I think people have this sense that we're kind of exhausted, that our resources are exhausted, that we're tired, and that we can't. And it was a sense of like, we are more powerful, we have more means, we have more abilities than we imagine. And I think this, where is our threshold? And somehow we always kind of stop right before, and it's about giving the audience, through the performers, a little bit of a push.
Hmm. And but at the same time, you see that you counterpoint or in parallel, but perhaps with certain connections, you have this collaboration with other choreographers. And for example, you are presenting here the fault lines, and then I see this really interesting line that is. In a way different because we felt that it's this kind of very intimate. So it was really interesting to see these realms of your imagination in a way, and your work, and in which of course there is something quite interesting about how the architecture and the pipelines of the piece are revealed, and in a way I just felt like, well, it felt very personal with some things related with a lot of perhaps postmodern approaches. But how do you approach? How do you relay this strands of work? Because you have different formats. And
It's a collaboration, so it's a shared work with Philip Kemaka and Vladimir Miller. So it's something we created together. We wanted to not make it just a dance piece or a theater piece, but really a performance installation, so that the light and the drawing would have as much weight and as importance visually and also contact-wise as the movement. And it's a real collaboration.
Yeah, and it's also felt very intimate and but also, how can I say, almost private. Almost in a way that even if there were some deployment of trying to teach me or tell me something with the drawings, it felt, okay, this is an impossibility.
I mean, there's touches of narrative, but it really slides into something more abstract and also more poetic. So it's not a direct hit.
Yeah,
like
or
Violet.
Trying to explain. Yeah.
No, there's a lot of suggestion.
Yeah.
And you see that there's a strong beginning and something has gone wrong, and there's a lot of reconstruction of what has taken place, who did what, like without the answers. A
little bit kind of the failed forensics.
Yeah, somehow. Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah. And then how do you feel that this strands of work? Of course, this is your mind. Is trading back and forth, or I was fantasizing that you have this kind of labs. When you do these pieces, like they may feed each other in your own process.
Yeah, I mean it's great to work from the inside, to be to dance from the inside and to feel it this way, and then to also be able to direct on a larger scale and to be on the outside. And I just feel very lucky I have the chance to show both of these pieces in Panorama.
Yeah, and also I will feel like it's quite interesting also for me to see how there is this other third iteration or third aspect, that the piece Violet had some kind of atelier that I didn't see it, but I felt that it's like this other optic, this other perspective. What I found kind of perhaps even I read it was kind of focused on the tasks or in this labor that was what the dancers were doing, but with some other collaborations.
It's very important that they're not just dancing, but they're in a process. You see them in actions, but they're thinking about corrosion or melting or dissolving. So really, as chemicals, they're not just sort of accomplishing a series of movements. You see them at work while they're on stage.
Yeah, and of course, I think that's an obligatory question for me, and perhaps you have been asked this very much. Is in a way, when you see them at work, you see them in process. There is a lot of shying away to I have noticed to say that dancers are improvising, but you see them. I felt that I see. Okay, I'm witnessing a very important practice here, or something. How you relate this word practice now, very in vogue with okay, they're improvising and following some kind of tasks.
They are, but it's more that the piece was made over a long period. Also with the first draft after 3 months in. So actually the piece is quite set now. It's more that you see the fruits, the results of all that long improvisation process, which step by step through the video, through you trying to sculpt it and to shape it. Well, we now have a piece, but it's not that they have an open field where they can just improvise what they.
Well, it could be also dangerous because it's so high risk and a level of movement. And I saw that this is a speculation in one of your last piece that you experiment practically also with music and these environments of music. And then I felt, wow, that is interesting. And this is almost like patterns of sound and do you make any tie or in the development of this question?
I think to work on a piece that is abstract, but that is not neutral, I needed a kind of urgency, and so the music is a bit of a siren or alarm, an anthem. It's a sense of also no escape, that once you're in for the duration. So it's encompassing, it kind of envelops the performers, and then once they reach the front of the stage and you have the silence, it should be like something that's really been sort of discarded or shed or cleared, that you can experience silence in a new way.
Yeah, that moment actually can last really forever. It's so beautiful when they come in front of you. And I also see in your work that you have also expressed that pieces are practically, the most interesting of the pieces are not even the pieces in itself, it's like practically the questions that you are generating by the piece before, or even by your moment in your life. What questions are working you right now, if we can know? Because I see this opening, I see this in very, how you put it, this almost mandatory question in relationship, something that we cannot escape with Violet. And so...
I don't have I need time for that one, I think.
Yes. Cool. Well, thank you very much. If you need time, they give you the time now.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, and for this time. Okay.